Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I will be going over BKFC's 80. Fuck. Today I will be giving you a full card breakdown of BKFC 80 Hollywood that went down over the past week ago or something like that. Finally catching up on everything that happened over the last weekend. This is the last thing to get to. So let's just go ahead and talk about this, man. Starting things off on the card, we have Rudy Laveau versus Lewis Brennington. Laveau is making his debut here, while Lewis is 0-1, losing via first round body shot KO. The fight's fine. Laveau looks to be more in control with close punches. Brewington tries to combat this with pressure, but doesn't really work out so well. And in the end, Laveau was able to win via unanimous decision, so a good debut for him. And props to Brewington for actually being able to make it the full distance this time. So improvements all around, really. Up next is Nicholas Bloom versus Dylan Bladen. Bloom is 0-2, while Bladen is 0-1. Bloom won this pretty easily by overpowering Bladen. He wasn't able to really land anything cleanly, but I think the sheer power and force of Bloom was able to convince Bladen that he didn't really want to fight anymore, so the fight was called off. Good win for Bloom here. He looked really strong here as well against the right opponent. He can look pretty good here, so yeah, the good win for him. Up next, man, Giancarlos Rivera versus Isaiah Garcia. I will let my reaction say everything about this fight that needs to be said. Oh! 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 Oh my god! Oh! He was... Dude! Stiff as a board! Yeah, man, so that was a pretty vicious uppercut KO while in the clinch. That was a really good look for Rivera. I'm not sure. He's still undefeated. He's now 2-0, so he looks to be going for big things in BKFC, so happy for him. He got a good win here. Up next was Wayne Reed versus Paulo Gomez. Reed is 2-1 on a 2-fight decision streak, while Gomez is making his debut here. Surprisingly enough, not surprisingly enough, but during the fight, Gomez was in full control. He was able to drop Reed twice in the third round after a trip. To be fair to Reed, but he was still got dropped twice after that. So Reed's corner was called the fight off before the start of the fourth here. So Reed gets the win, Gomez gets the win here. Good win for him, good win for him. Up next, Chris Garcia versus Austin Lewis. Garcia is 4-1 coming off a decent loss, and Lewis is 1-1. It was a pretty even fight for a while before Garcia was able to land a straight right while Garcia was circling, getting the knockdown, and Lewis seemed just a bit too dazed to continue, so the ref called off the fight. Pretty good win here from Garcia. It was a really clean shot that was able to land on Lewis, so good for him. Up next is Bobby Henry versus Stash Kuykendall, I believe is how you pronounce that. Henry was 1-0 coming in this fight, while Kuykendall is making his debut. Henry dominated early to start the fight. He gets a knockdown in the first round, but also gets a point deducted for punches while Stash was down already, so very strict ruling by the refs here. In the second round, Stash would try to apply pressure, but that led to an exchange where Henry slipped and it fell on the floor. And then when they went to re-engage, when the ref told him to fight again, it seems like Stash kind of forgot that he was fighting someone, seemingly, because when they went to re-engage, Henry immediately came in with a 1-2 combination that instantly floored Stash and ended the fight. Total win, but caused him to bleed and everything. It was a total knockdown. It was a KO. It was a KO. So it was just a bit weird looking from Stash there. It looked like he didn't really have the fight IQ there. He wasn't really prepared for that. So unfortunate for him, but Henry continues to look dominant. He's now 2-0, so good for him. Jeremy Smith versus David Simpson is up next. Both guys are 3-3. Jeremy Smith is coming off 2 losses, while Simpson is coming off a win. It was an even start, but Simpson is just slightly faster. He was able to get Smith against the ropes and then just threw a barrage of punches that was able to get him the win here. So a good look for Simpson here as well. Third to last fight was Yoel Romero versus Theodokis. Now, I gotta be honest, both guys are making their debut here, but you and I all know Yoel Romero pretty well. And stepping up to fight him bare knuckle is quite the task at hand there for sure. So I had to say a quick prayer before this fight started because I was scared for Theodokis here. But it was a pretty slow start. Romero tried to throw a Superman punch, which isn't allowed, but still, that was something to see. In the second round, Romero started connecting a bit more. I know it took a few punches before he was able to start dropping Daukas. He dropped him 3 times in the second round before the ref stepped in to call it by a TKO. So Romero gets the TKO decision win here. You know, Romero is a tough guy to beat. You know, if he's gonna be fighting, I believe this was a heavyweight fight. And if he's gonna be fighting at heavyweight, that is a rough path for anyone in his way, really. I'm scared for whoever fights Yoel Romero too, because regardless of his age, he still has some very powerful hands, and you know he's pretty thick-skulled himself. So I mean, like I'm worried. I'm worried for the division with Yoel Romero now being more active. In the co-main event, it was Edgar Paz. In the in the co-main event, it was Edgar Plazaloa. Fuck, man, this is the worst. This is somehow the hardest name I've ever had to pronounce in my life. Edgar Plazaola versus Gary Fox. Plazaola is 5-0, 5 finishes in a row. Fox is 4-2 on a 2-fight win streak, but it's just an absolutely dominant win for Plazaola. I wrote Plazalo in my notes here. That's fucking wrong. But Plazaola is able to get a dominant win here. 50-44, and one judge had a 50-43. He got a knockdown in the third round, which pretty much secured him the fight there. But yeah, man, that was a very dominant win for Edgar Plazaola. What a fucking name, dude. I hope that guy does well. I hope he's a future champ. He looks like he's gonna be a future champ. He looks like he's next for the featherweight title. So I'm excited to see what he does, and I'm excited to hopefully come across him again, dude. That's good stuff here from Edgar Plazaola. Finally, we get to the main event: Leonardo Perdomo versus Arnold Adams. Of course, Perdomo is 8-0. He's ranked number 1 in the heavyweight division. Adams himself is a former heavyweight champ, but he's only ranked number 4. He's 7-4 on a 3-fight losing streak, including a controversial early stoppage in the last fight between these two, which is why this is now the rematch. But Perdomo, make sure you realize that was no fluke, because he comes in quick, he applies pressure, he swings wildly, tags Adams up a few times, and then gets the KO win with a short uppercut, close fist, close in the clinch, sort of. In the pocket. Yeah, super dominant win for Perdomo here. 9-0. Looks to be going for that title, man. He's one of those guys that could, like, looks like he could do really well in MMA too if he wasn't just a bare knuckle fighter. But yeah, that was a good win for him. Good performance from him. Excited to see how he does in the future. Oh, I also should have mentioned like the little segment they had, little in-ring promo they had between, I think it was after the Romero fight. It was between Mike Perry and Jeremy Stevens, where they just almost got into like a little tussle, dude. A little cute. I like when they do like these little in-ring promos for mixed martial arts events. It's funny. It makes me think I'm watching WWE, which is hilarious that they would even do something like that. But overall, this show is actually pretty fun. I'm not a big stickler for bare knuckle boxing as like the ethics of it all, but this was a fun show. This was an entertaining show. I will be honest, I think this was pretty cool. I'm excited to see like the next pay-per-view. It's going to be pretty interesting for sure. Some really good knockouts out here, some really good performances by a few guys on here, some really good, exciting futures to look at in the sport itself. And yeah, man, that's gonna be it from me. Like, it's just another quick short review to wrap up all this long weekend of stuff that was being talked about. Can now get back to the wrestling talk, which will be awesome, and then we get a little bit of a quiet week before we're getting another fucking overload of shit. Like, this last week of September is going to be crazy, man, but that's for the future, for now. So, for now, I will leave it at that. That's all I gotta say about this show. Let me know what you thought of this show, if you watched it at all, man. Like, are you excited about? Are you excited to see Yoel Romero, Leonardo Perdomo, Edgar Plazola? Excited to see him come up. You know, guys like Giancarlos Rivera. They put in an excellent performance here as well. So let me know how excited you guys are for that. Give me your thoughts, comments, opinions down below. Over here are other videos that YouTube thinks you would enjoy if you made it this far into the video. If you did, thank you very much for being here this far into it. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Right here you can subscribe. Right here you can subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.